absolutely accurate. How's everybody doing? It's Rev here. This isn't going to be, I don't know how much of my audience from the past has come back. I know that some of you are out there. I'm pretty sure that some of the people that knew me from back in the day know that I'm back. I'm kind of getting inklings and messages that certain people are hearing me, which really means a lot to me. To know that you know, what you have to understand about YouTube, guys, is that a lot of people's numbers are suppressed because they've been labeled something from in their past. They've done something or not done something, but have accusations of something. Let's just say that this whole media environment has a way of canceling people and putting them in categories and well, this person's undesirable, that person's undesirable, and then if you do a little digging, you'll find out that most of the accusations about people that they put on people are just false for the most part. But I think a percentage of my audience might be coming back to me because I'm starting to see a reaction with some people. Like, I put out a video about a foodie beauty issue, for example, and there was a person that made a comment like, "Why are you doing videos like this if your channel is about like end time prophecy in the Bible?" Because this is my channel, so if something, regardless of what it is, this isn't just a place where I discuss Bible prophecy. You're also going to hear stuff that interests me as well. I might do some just video game stuff on this channel. I might do like a gaming video review on this channel. You don't know what you're going to get anytime. Lately, it's been a lot about current events because things are so insane right now. So what's on my radar is you're going to hear me talking a lot about what's happening in the country, because quite frankly, if we don't do it in the alternative media, you want to call it that, nobody is, because the mainstream media is taking you down a road that they want you to go, which is either have complete apathy because you feel like there's nothing you can do, or get more extreme in your ideology one way or another. And both sides are coming to the same end, which is a one-world totalitarian fascist government. Both sides are working towards that. Okay? I prefaced what the video is with that because you're going to start wondering to yourself, this guy doesn't seem like a right-wing Christian person. I think I probably would have qualified as that in the past. But I'm going to tell you that my ideology of how I think we should govern and do things has changed. When I was more privileged and I was more conservative when I was more privileged. I recognize that about myself. When you live life in the sector of you're not privileged, I hope that you come out on the side of compassion and where we should take care of people. And that's definitely where I've moved. In the old days, I would have said, yeah, I believe you need to pull yourself up by your bootstraps and you got to do the work if you want to be successful and stuff like this. And the fact of the matter is that you could work as hard as you fucking possibly can. And if you don't have a name to get you money, or know someone with a name to get you money, or you came into money like I did, you're struggle is an upward one, and it's a hard one, where most people can't just pull themselves up by their bootstraps. It's not economically feasible to do that these days. It used to be, where the cost of living wasn't so massive that you had the problems that we do in this country now, specifically with the currency, which is depleted to a level where now it's crisis. You can't run a country on a national debt of $37 trillion and expect us to be okay, the currency. So what I'm seeing here is a massive crossroads in so many ways in the country that it's hard to put in a linear just presentation for anybody. They've blown up the whole thing. The ordo, it's very much ordo ab cao. Like, let's destroy the CDC. Let's destroy the FEC. Let's completely dismantle HHS. Let's completely restructure Medicaid and Medicare and Social Security and privatize it. These are all things that are moving towards an ends that they want. That's mostly control over your life. But we're now at this crossroads. And I've been advocating blow the whole system up and start from the beginning. That probably would be the best way to go. But aside from that happening, the best thing that we could do at this point is steer our country back towards the center. The status quo of Bill Clinton era would be better than the current situation we're in now. Right now we're at the point where most of the public realized at one point that both sides are bullshit, and they wanted to put somebody in that they thought would buck both sides and do their own thing. That's for the country. And that was Trump in 2016 with independents, InfoWars listeners basically got Donald Trump elected in 2016 because we believed him to be a change agent, not for the change that he's brought, which is authoritarianism on the right-wing end, because there's a left-wing authoritarianism too. It has a velvet glove on it called the UN and globalism. Okay? That's what you have to understand, that with all of these ideologies, it's a one-way road. There may be a bunch of different roads, but they all lead to a town center, and the town center is authoritarian reign upon the planet with a one-world fascist dictatorship. There's many different paths. But if you're in politics especially, you are going to be encouraged eventually to understand that the global system needs stability. There's a lot of little fires that you can set and make it look like that you're wanting to be a revolutionary and make things about the people again. But at the end of the day, the American people, by and large part, understood, oh, it's all bullshit. So with the status quo in the country right now, it's worse. We would be better off with another Biden term or a Kamala Harris term. Would have been far better for our future than Donald Trump right now. This is just objectively true. And if you don't agree with that, then you don't agree with the Constitution, because the Constitution told us and instructs us to never put a man like Donald Trump in office, and we did. With all that said, what's my point? Well, I'm going to show you now. With a lot of my conservative audience, I'm going to lose you, most likely. But at this point, this is where I don't buck party lines. This is where I don't toe a party line. I am a registered Republican, but in the last election, I voted for Kamala Harris. I voted pretty much straight Democrat ticket. Okay? Why? Because the Republican Party is no longer anything that I would say is positive in any way for the country. And I'm saying that as a registered Republican. I have my freaking, next time I go to renew my ID, I got to change my party again, and it'll probably be the last time I change it. And if there's a progressive party option, that's who I am. That's what I'm a progressive now. I recognize. I think I've always been a progressive. I've always been that. The conservative stances on stuff now I can no longer support, because they support basically calling poor people. If you're not a billionaire and you're supporting Trump, I don't understand what you're doing. If you're a billionaire, then I totally understand why you would support Trump, sure. I would hope you would be a good person. I would hope that you would be a good person and recognize, wow, okay, I have way more wealth than basically 99% of the people that are underneath me, and I want to share it. I would hope you would feel that way. But generally speaking, you're not going to feel that way, and it's human nature to vote your pocketbook for the most part. So billionaires, yeah, you're going to support Donnie, or you will say you hate him, but deep down you're like, well, he's saving me a lot of money, so I hate him. He's a horrible man, but wow, he's saving me a lot of money. He's making me a lot of money. Anyway. Why do I say all this? Well, I played you a clip of one of the most famous now, I would say, liberals in American politics, and that's Gavin Newsom. Now, back in the day, you would have heard me say, holy shit, what a textbook California Hollywood liberal that just wants to make a splash and try and seem like he's something special. In the old days, that's probably what I would have said to you. Now, well, I really listened to him. He's been all over the place because he had a big press conference today. And at the same time he had that press conference, Trump marched out his ICE Gestapo. That's catching on. People like Ben Meiselas are now saying American Gestapo. Yeah, I hadn't heard anybody except me talk like that. So if I have anything to do with that, praise God. I think I do, because I haven't really heard anybody say it. ICE is exactly that. They're the American Gestapo. So they marched them out at the same time that Gavin did his speech. Why? To try and intimidate him. Because Gavin Newsom, without a doubt, is looking way more like a president than Donald Trump right now. He is taking action against this whole gerrymandering thing that the Republicans are trying to do to seal up for probably 30, 40, 50, maybe 100 years of nothing but Republican wins. So what does Gavin Newsom say? He says, all right, fine. You guys are going to do this in Texas? Well, I'm going to say, as a ballsy Democrat, which there are very few of, I'm going to stand up and say, in my state, we're going to put it back to the people's hands, and we're going to hand it to them and have them vote on maps and see how this falls out. Yeah, California is more liberal than conservative. So they're going to lock California for Democrats forever, and they should. They should. Because Greg Abbott is going in Texas, fuck Democrats. In fact, I'm going to try and arrest them. They've taken political warfare to the point now where, whoa, it's like Civil War level vibes in this country right now with the two sides. And that there's nothing more negative in your country than such a polarized environment that it's like we're going damn Yankees and damn, Dixies. We're getting to that point where it's that divided. Okay? Gavin Newsom's coming in, and, I would have assumed he was like a Hollywood liberal atheist type. No way. He's Catholic. He's and when he speaks and he brings up God, it's always in a very appropriate way. Like, it's about compassion. It's about love. And wow, who said that stuff? Well, it's that guy. Do you remember him? I hope you remember him. And if you don't know him, you better know him soon. He's a Catholic, Gavin Newsom. And he brings up God beautifully. He really puts it out there in the way that I believe a Christian is meant to speak. So I'm going to piss off a lot of people. How dare you, Rev, you're a Christian, and you're saying this demonic, horrible Democrat, Gavin Newsom, is possibly a good person. I'm telling you, I think he is a good person. I'm sure he's got some shit in his closet, because he's a Hollywood liberal, and he's probably been to some parties. Yeah. But you're not dealing in a perfect world. You're dealing with the leaders that we got. And he's a leader. When he's speaking, I hear a president. I hear a guy that could walk us maybe back into common sense government where we can take care of people and make money for the government. We can do this. My ideas are just pipe dreams, like ending the Federal Reserve, and we could have interest-free money and our economy would boom so big that it would be the biggest economic flurry in the country since the dot-com boom, if we kick the Federal Reserve out of the country and have interest-free money printed by the Treasury, delineated by the legislature, as the Constitution tells us we should do for our money. Could we go back to that? Oh, you can't base it on the gold anymore because all the gold's gone. Where'd the gold go? Well, ask international bankers. Ask the managers of the Federal Reserve where our gold is. It's not in Fort Knox, folks. I'm going to play a little of this video for you. But I'm going to tell you, if Gavin Newsom, I call on Gavin right now. You should run for president. Because if it's a choice between Orange Hitler on the Republican ticket, I think he's going to run again. Trump. This is Trump's second term, right? You can't run after 2 terms. No, bullshit. I think he's going to try it. If he doesn't get removed from office. There's this whole thing where Gavin Newsom is saying, I have something on Trump, and Trump knows that he's done in 16 months. I don't know what that means. But Gavin Newsom keeps saying this. 16 months, Trump's out. And there's nothing he can do about it. Keep your eye on that. 16 months. Let's take a look at presidential material. I'm just saying.
California Governor Gavin Newsom announced plans to redraw California's congressional districts to counter Texas's gerrymandering efforts to add 5 more Republican districts. Newsom's actions are heralded by some, but also might meet opposition from his own constituents. And we'll get into that momentarily. But first, let's take a look at some of the other comments Newsom made at his event today.
That's what this is all about. It's about power, and I want to end on this. And we are about to give power back to the people. You have, on November 4th in California, you have the power to stand.
You're going to say to me, oh, Rev, this is a clear bait and switch from the liberals to get people to go with the liberals because Trump is so bad. Guess what? That don't matter. That's probably the case. Is Gavin Newsom for real 100%? I don't know that. Is he working for the globalist agenda? Probably. I'm going to tell you that the globalist agenda and all of that is better than an authoritarian in office right now putting active military in the place of police. Do you understand that the president is blending the military and police into one? He wants to federalize all of the police in the United States of America. Do you know what that means? That's a police state. Do you get it? Anything the liberals have to offer is better than that.
And up to Trump. You have the power to declare that you support a system that is not rigged. You have the power on November 4th to stand up for people that are being bullied. You have the power to stand up for people that are being intimidated. You have the power.
You know, it just came to me. Maybe Gavin Newsom means 16 months, what? That'd be what, the 2026 elections, maybe? That's probably what he's referring to, that there's going to be like a blue wave in the midterms. We'll see. Probably accurate, but I'm not going to call anything on that. It's too early. And there's massive things that can happen in a day where the Democrats look horrible and then Trump gets even more power in the midterms. We'll see.
To stand up to the rule of law. We're giving the people of this state the power to save democracy, not just in California, but all across the United States of America.
Now, Newsom's plan is to have California lawmakers vote on the new maps as early as next week. He expects those votes to be successful. Assuming that happens, Newsom will call a special election, and the proposed maps would be placed on the November 4th ballot for Californians to vote on. They would then be used for the 2026, 2028, and 2030 elections, but only for congressional races. After that, California would go back to having an independent commission redraw congressional maps following the next scheduled U.S. Census count. But a complicating factor in all of this is that California voters want independent maps free from partisan gerrymandering. By nearly a 2-to-1 margin, voters prefer keeping an independent line-drawing panel to determine the state's House seats. The latest Politico Citron Center Possibility Lab survey found just 36% of respondents back returning congressional redistricting authority to state lawmakers. Older respondents were more likely to favor the independent commission with 7.
All right, so what's my point? Well, here's my point. Number one, anything that anything that a president, Gavin Newsom, would have to offer this country would be better than what Donald John Orange Hitler Trump has to offer this country in office. If I lose you on this, I'm sorry. But I know that as long as the Republican Party remains this weird authoritarianism, I am not a Republican, and I will vote against everything Republican. Why? You're on the wrong side of history. You're in the party of Hitler in America in 2025. And I say that as a registered Republican. Change your party next time. If you are a registered Republican, show your heart to the world. And next time you change your little picture on your ID, say fuck you to the Republican Fascist Party. That's taking apart everything you believe in as an American.